Good morning. I'm Thomas Brickner, the instructor for Summer A 2020 Astronomy 2002. And this is a preview of what you'll be up to, various tasks and so forth for Module 1. And I'll be doing a preview of each module uh, for the semester as we go through the semester. All right. First of all, we're going to talk about the academic integrity module. Uh, This is going to be our attendance quiz for the semester. You know, the thing you have to do at the first week of class is always. So try to get this squared away by Friday, if not sooner. You go through the module, you read them, and then you take a little quiz at the end, and hopefully you get a good enough grade, and then you can go and do the other stuff in the semester. We're going to have six YouTubes, and if you've already looked at the Getting Started video, you know all about the basic workflow. Um, here's uh, playlist in YouTube for the main lectures that we'll be using now. These are recycled from spring of 18. That's the last time I had a big lecture section for astronomy. I recorded all my YouTubes or all my lectures, and even our special lecture about planetary defense. It's all in here, and so they're pretty good. And I've linked this page to the mission control, and it's organized with the latest at the top. So go ahead and click from the mission control page, and that'll pop out this window. And then slide down to the bottom of the list, and that's where you'll see our first six lectures for Module 1. The first one is mostly stuff from that semester, getting organized, the syllabus for that semester. You know, this is a practice clicker question, a Chuck Norris question. And that's in Astronomy Lecture 1. But, you know, definitely listen to it. Just try to sift out all the stuff that's about that semester. There is a little bit about, you know, astronomy in there that you'll want to pick up and use for this semester. Here's Astronomy Lecture 2. And bear in mind also that this is a regular semester and it's January. So there's a lot of stargazing opportunities in that lecture, in that semester. Here you can see some of my comments about section 1.5 in the textbook. And this one is a little bit of syllabus type information, but mostly we get down to brass tacks in astronomy with lecture 2. Lecture 3, some more stuff, and don't forget, you know, there's clicker questions that you don't really have to worry about because we can't do clicking. However, it's nice to look at them so that you can see the question itself, and also so that you can kind of learn my question techniques, right? So that you can do well on my exams. So there's lecture 3. And we're talking about Galileo and the laws of planetary motion and stuff. Here's lecture 4. This one's talking about the zodiac and how we use it to name. This is chapter 2. How we use the zodiac to name constellations, you know, and stars inside of a constellation. Um, Lecture 5 has one of the few calculations that you'll be doing this semester, and that's the eccentricity calculation. So if you look at it carefully, you'll see how I do a fairly basic eccentricity calculation for an ellipse. Ellipses are all over the place in this class because things orbit things in the universe. Moons orbit planets, planets orbit stars, stars orbit the center of the galaxy on elliptical or circular orbits. Now, lecture 6 is pretty important because it kind of ties things together. It's about Kepler's third law, how we use it. Now, here's Kepler's third law as stated by Sir Isaac Newton, and you'll be reading about all this stuff in the textbook. Um, and then also in lecture 6, we dip forward just for a little bit into chapter 19. And here's a diagram from, I think this is figure 1 in chapter 19 about triangulation. And because Kepler's third law, you need to know the dimensions of a planet's orbit. So, hopefully you can triangulate and get an idea of the distance. Now we have homework assignments associated with the module. Homework 1, that's due on May 21st, 11:59 p.m. So that's the night before the midterm. Okay. Homework 2, the same. And they're basically study problems and study tools for you to work on, chapter 3 concepts. Homework 3 is an eccentricity calculation. So I think it has 2 calculations in there that you can try. And you're going to have several attempts at it because it's good to practice with that. And that'll be the third assignment for Module 1. And it's due again as the other 2 on May 21st at 11:59 p.m. Now, readings. If you look at the mission control page, we have lectures, we have homeworks, and we have readings. And so you're going to be in chapter 1. Here's chapter 1.5. You can see I have an annotation there in chapter 1, section 5. Chapter 2, we're going to be studying in there a little bit. And so just study and skim through there and then always refer back to my lectures and stuff. And plus study whatever you think is cool. I mean, if it's not in a lecture, but you still enjoy it, study it. Learn about it. I mean, this is kind of cool, this thing about Eratosthenes. Ellipses, chapter 3. Yep. Ellipses. So you're going to be dipping around in chapter 3. And not just this module, but, the laws of planetary motion, we're going to be talking about them all semester. So, so we're going to be looking at chapter 3 a lot. Here's chapter 5. This is another one we're going to be using all semester because spectra are so important. And here's a diagram from chapter 5, section 5. And so just skim through chapter 5 and so forth, and that'll help you. It's a big chapter, so don't feel like you have to take notes on everything. But I do mention it in lecture, and we will be mentioning it all through the semester. So definitely get yourself a little familiar with chapter 5. And then here's before I mentioned a little bit of triangulation and parallax measurement in chapter 19. So that's just 19.2. And then finally, on May 22nd, we'll have Module 1 exam. So be ready for that. Don't wait until to do all your homework on May 21st because you'll bomb the exam. So just listen to the YouTubes. You listen to one every day. Do some homework. Do some reading. And then listen to another one the next day. Do some homework. Do some reading. And hopefully you'll be able to crush Module 1 exam. And remember, there's no makeup exam, so you've got to make it. All right, I'll see you on the internet.